man up until the age of 40, and at 40 years old, his testosterone quit, and she tried to take synthetic testosterone, and her body rejected that, and she knew, and she said she knew for her whole life that really she hadn't felt like she was a man. She was married to a woman at that point in time and had a family, and ended up having to come to terms with her sexual identity. So this was a very, very profound experience for her, actually sitting and posing for me. I didn't know her. She came and offered and backed out a couple of times, and then decided to go through with it. Bert over there is my 95-year-old neighbor. He's now dead, passed away, but he also agreed to pose for me as a widower. So the range went from transgendered, gay, heterosexual family, interracial family, widower, single mom with adopted daughter. It's just the gamut of what family is in Canadian society today. It speaks, I think, to just how we've shifted as a society, and how regardless of what the social norms are inside of our lives, there's resilience, vulnerability, and intimacy, and all of these people chose their own poses, and the other folks as well, and all of the families are very, very different, and there's a tangibility in the intimacy within their families. So basically, the work that I do is all about portraiture. I always use individuals who are real and live and non-professional models, and they usually choose their own poses, and we work with whatever comes out of that. So I kind of work from the inside out. I guess that's all.
like from ever since I got out of school, so this is a whole new experience for me. The opportunity. So my work is on the wall right here. I'm a photographer, and I graduated from MKIT's photography major last year. So just a brief introduction to my work. I actually was very interested in Eastern philosophy when I was researching, and I was sort of struggling with my identity too. I'm a Korean and an immigrant, and I'm in Canada. I was immigrated when I was 15 years old, and I was struggling to find my cultural identity as half Asian and grown up as in this Western society. So I was very, so in the process I got very interested in Eastern philosophy and their sort of, universality as, the people we are not different, we are not apart from the nature that surrounds us, but we are part of it. We are like the one with the nature. So I was emphasizing that point with just placing the individual in this natural surrounding, but matching their outfits to them, so they would match in color. But also I was very interested in the moment where you feel that oneness with the natural nature. Sorry. I was capturing that moment of, that enlightenment or the sense of oneness where people would feel that way, and when they are in their own psychological sort of place, even though they are there, they're not there, like they're removed from the place. So I would not want the subject I'm photographing as seen as an individual, but like I would want the viewers to empathize with the subject by minimizing their identity, like their features, like their faces. You would I just like turn them, because if you see the face in the portrait, you would automatically think who this person is, and you would just focus on their identities, but rather than just, you would just project yourself onto the subjects by just looking at them, just the features of them.
Thank you very much.
We've got from the two Nellis, John Adolphus Nellis and Helen Sumner Nellis are the oldest pieces we have out. They're both from 1859. The Nellises, of course, were among the founding families in Grimsby, so there's great local historic relevance with those two. Emily Fazi, or Fazi, is that how you? I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. Also a local resident from about 100 years later, that's 1949, and the various other pieces. So if you have any questions about the collection works, I will do my best to answer them. I won't go through them all right now. I may or may not have an answer, but I'll try to find it. So once again, thank you to everybody for coming, and to the artists for being here, and for having such wonderful work, and for me for doing such a great job pulling it together. Enjoy the rest of the